Did we just find a marker of life or not? Well, let's start with the bad news and then move on to the positive. Importantly, the authors report the detection of these two types of molecules at a statistical significance level of 3 sigma. This corresponds to a probability of 3 in 1,000 that the signal is a false positive. However, the gold standard in science is still 5 sigma, where the chance of error drops to just 1 in 3.5 million. So what does this mean in practice? It means that the results are currently at the lower edge of scientific reliability, so this is not yet a confirmed discovery. In fact, the authors of the study also emphasize this. They are very cautious in their conclusions and treat their own results with skepticism, saying that more checks and rechecks are needed before they can be completely confident. That's why Madhusudan says that between 16 and 24 additional hours of observation would give them the 5 sigma level of certainty they need. However, not everyone shares his optimism. The magazine New Scientist, for example, quotes several scientists who are skeptical, not just about the discovery itself, but even about the possibility of ever reaching 5 sigma for this planet. Even with a large, puffy atmosphere and a relatively close distance, spectral analysis is still not an easy task. For instance, Thomas Beatty from the University of Wisconsin compares the thickness of the atmosphere relative to the size of the planet to the thickness of apple skin relative to the apple itself. It's true, the signal in question could represent just 0.1% of the entire dataset from the spectrum. In other words, there could be so much noise in the data that even with 24 extra hours, reaching 5 sigma might be overly optimistic. But let's imagine for a moment, what if this confirmation does happen? Could we then say that scientists have discovered extraterrestrial life? Well, yes. Dimethyl sulfide is considered a biosignature because its potential role in the search for life has been discussed in several previous studies. So, its detection in hydrogen-rich atmospheres, like those found on super-Earths, could be a sign of life. It could be, but it's not necessarily proof.